Hi YouTube, welcome to another edition of Horror Hands, and for this video I'm going to be going through my top 5 favourite Dario Argento movies. So I remember when I did my top 5 Lucio Fulci films, I remember saying that it was Fulci that introduced me to the world of Italian cinema, and I've been a fan of it ever since. But it was really Dario Argento that made me take note of Italian cinema and appreciate it for its unique style and the aesthetics, and in a lot of places the classiness of these films that other kind of parts of the world didn't do. And for me personally, Dario Argento is the very best at this kind of cinema. Particularly in the 70s and 80s, there's nobody in Italy or pretty much anywhere else who, for me, comes anywhere near close to the proficient style that Dario Argento had. His films were just amazing. So, I'm going to go for my top 5 favourite from Dario Argento. So before I start with number 5, I will give a special mention to Demons 1 and 2. They are 2 of my favourite horror films ever made, but they were produced by Dario Argento, not directed by him, so I won't include them for this list. But at number 5, we have Phenomena. Really cool film with Jennifer Connelly. She has this like telekinetic ability where she can control bugs and things like that, and she works with Professor Donald Pleasance to kind of channel this skill. And meanwhile, there's a razor blade welding killer going around killing people who they have to try and track down. Been a long time since I've seen this one, but I remember really enjoying it for its look and its style, and in particular the music. The music in this film really drives it along, and you've got some really cool kind of pounding heavy metal soundtracks in this as well. I think Iron Maiden, some of their music pops up in this, which is really cool, and it's just a very kind of out there but arty and still very accomplished film from Dario Argento. The ending is absolutely crazy. It's worth watching just for the ending. Really nice performance from Jennifer Connelly, and as I say, the music and the aesthetics in this are really good example of Italian cinema at its peak. So that's number 5. At number 4, we have The Bird with the Crystal Plumage. Now, this movie absolutely blew me away. I thought this was incredible. So it's a bit sort of like a murder mystery giallo. This guy, he's passing by this art gallery and he sees a struggle on the inside with this man and woman. They're struggling over a knife. The guy kills the woman and flees. And so it's he's then on the case of trying to track down whoever it was that killed this woman. And the thing about Bird with the Crystal Plumage is this, for me, has one of the greatest twist ending kind of reveals that I've ever seen in a film. It absolutely blew me away, and I won't give it away, but there are kind of everything is there in front of you very subtly. But then when they reveal it at the end, it's so clever. And again, it's been a long time since I've watched this, but I vividly remember that ending, and I vividly remember just being so impressed with how they just turn things on the head and change things around, and just kind of just pull the rug from under the viewer. Really good stuff. And I've been a huge fan of this film ever since I first saw it and saw that ending. So that is number 4. At number 3, we have what will probably be a lot of people's number 1, and that is Suspiria. Although it is number 3, I do consider this to be an absolute masterpiece. So this is about this girl. She goes to a ballet school, and it's like a coven of witches that run the place. And it's all very atmospheric and creepy, and relies a lot on lighting and music and subtle nuances and things like that. When I first watched it, I kind of found the strong lighting and the music a bit intrusive and off-putting, but that was a long time ago, and I've watched it numerous times since then, and I've really grown to love it for the kind of psychedelic masterpiece that it is. I also really love the beginning of this film. Dario Argento said he wanted to make a film where the start was more like the ending of a film. So Jessica Harper running through the pouring rain to try and get through to the taxi was kind of how a lot of horror films end, with the final girl sort of beaten and tired, trying to run to where she needs to be. So I always thought that was a clever touch. And yeah, as I say, I love the look and style of Suspiria. It's an incredible film. Very, very few films like it. I wasn't a fan of the remake myself. I thought that was a bit pretentious and unnecessary. But the original Suspiria is just a wonderful film. One of the best examples of Italian cinema. Okay, at number 2, we have Deep Red. And for a long time, this would probably be my number 1. And I think this was one of the first Dario Argento films I ever saw. And I remember coming across it. I'd never heard of it, didn't know anything about it. And I wasn't too sure whether I'd enjoy it or not. I thought it would be probably like not great. And gosh, yeah, this was just... when I said at the beginning of the film that Argento's films made me take note of Italian cinema, it was Deep Red that did it. Because I'd never seen a film like it. I'd never seen a film that panned out the way that Deep Red did, that had so many twists and turns, it was so stylish and so well done and so gripping at the same time. And I was just absolutely captivated by the story that Dario Argento told in this film. And I've been a huge fan of it ever since. I think David Hemmings is wonderful in it as the main guy trying to find the killer. Got some amazing death scenes in it, some great kills, but all the while just manages to maintain this sort of real, but this beautiful style. I don't know how Argento did it. It's like nothing else that I've ever seen. And for me, Deep Red is one of the very best Argento films, Italian films and horror films in general. So that is number 2. But my number 1 favourite Dario Argento movie is Tenebre, which again is just an incredible film. The style and the visuals that Dario Argento employs in this movie are incredible. I love the story. A novelist is travelling around promoting his book, which is like a murder mystery book, and people start getting killed in ways that replicate the deaths in his book. And some of the kills in this are fantastic. I mean, this was a video nasty here in the UK. And what I absolutely love in this movie is the camera work. This has arguably some of the greatest, if not the greatest, camera work I've ever seen in cinema. Especially the scene where the camera floats over the top of that really large building, goes up and around it and comes back down, and then goes through the window and through the corridors of the building. I have no idea how they did that, and that was just incredible. And again, you don't see it. You don't see it in horror films. It's just wonderful stuff. So again, great music as well in Tenebre. I think Goblin provided the soundtrack in this, as he did with most Dario Argento films, and it's got some fantastic music, great performances. Just a fantastic film all round. So those are my top 5 favourite Dario Argento films. As always, guys, let me know what you think of that countdown. Do you agree? Do you not agree? And if so, let me know what your top 5 favourite Argento movies are. I'd love to know. So thank you very much for watching, and stay tuned for more videos.